Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You guys sent in some really interesting stuff this week. We have a Crypto and Coffee podcast episode that focuses on current market trends and some exciting news coming out of Dubai's tech scene.
Yeah, sounds like a fun mix.
Yeah, it is. We've got the CPI numbers dropping tomorrow, and it seems like everyone in crypto is holding their breath.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some signs, some pretty counterintuitive signs that maybe things aren't as dire as they seem,
Right.
especially when we look at stablecoin volume.
For sure, the rise in stablecoin volume is definitely interesting. I think it's something worth looking into.
So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to equip you with the knowledge you need to navigate this current crypto climate. And we're going to explore how AI is changing the game for businesses and creators, especially in the Middle East.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let's start with this crypto roller coaster we seem to be on.
Yeah.
Globally, the market cap is down a bit,
Yeah, just slightly.
but trading volume is way up.
Hmm.
What's the story there?
Well, it's kind of like everyone's preparing for this big storm, but they're not quite running for cover yet, you know?
No.
The increase in that stablecoin volume could actually mean that some savvy investors are moving their assets to a more stable position before we get that CPI data.
Okay.
So they're basically hedging their bets, staying in the game, but being smart about managing that risk.
So it's not just like retail investors getting spooked. It could be bigger players making more calculated moves.
Exactly. And the fact that it's all happening before that CPI announcement,
Right.
that's key.
Yeah.
It really does suggest that these traders are anticipating some volatility in the market and they're, positioning themselves accordingly. It's a pretty sophisticated move.
Okay, well, speaking of sophisticated, Bitcoin mining difficulty just went up for the 8th time in a row.
Wow.
What is driving this persistent climb?
Well, think of it like a gold rush. So, as more and more miners join the network, that difficulty of finding gold, or in this case, Bitcoin, that's going to increase. Each miner is essentially competing to solve these complex math problems, and the more computing power, what we call hash rate, is dedicated to this task, well, the harder it gets for everyone involved.
So even though the market isn't exactly booming right now, miners are still pouring resources into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That just seems so counterintuitive.
I know, it's an interesting dynamic. So that increased mining difficulty, that's usually associated with a really bullish sentiment.
Uh-huh.
But, historically, it's also occurred in bear markets.
Huh.
So it's not a foolproof indicator of where the price is going to go, but it definitely shows how resilient that Bitcoin network is. And it shows that some people have this unwavering belief in its long-term potential.
So it seems like miners are playing the long game, regardless of those short-term market fluctuations. Anything else we should keep in mind about this mining difficulty before we move on?
Well, keep an eye out for January 28th. That's the estimated date for that next difficulty adjustment. And it'll be interesting to see if this trend's going to continue. Now, let's switch gears a little bit. One piece of news that really surprised me, Tether's relocating to El Salvador.
Oh, yeah. That was the headline. So El Salvador, they've been all in on Bitcoin ever since they made it legal tender back in 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
They've been really trying to cultivate a Bitcoin-friendly regulatory environment.
Right.
So for Tether, which is the world's largest stablecoin by market cap, this relocation's got to have some pretty big potential benefits, right?
Yeah, definitely. And for Tether, it's likely a strategic move.
Yeah.
Just to try to secure some regulatory clarity and potentially lower some of those operational costs. Don't forget, they just recently got that digital asset service provider license there.
Oh, the DSP license?
Yeah, exactly. El Salvador's regulatory landscape is much more welcoming than some other jurisdictions.
But haven't they been facing some regulatory hurdles in Europe?
Totally.
Yeah.
Tether has been delisted from a bunch of European exchanges because of regulatory concerns. It just highlights the tension between the decentralized nature of cryptocurrency and the desire for that regulatory control in traditional financial systems.
Yeah, it seems like Tether is really playing this high-stakes game, trying to find that balance between innovation and regulation.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. This whole situation really emphasizes how complex that global crypto landscape is and how much we need greater regulatory clarity to make sure we have stability and responsible innovation.
Okay, so that brings us to this transatlantic regulatory exchange between New York and London. This collaboration seems like a pretty big deal.
It is a big deal. The fact that these major financial hubs are coming together to work on regulations for digital assets, virtual currencies, all those new financial technologies, it says a lot about how important crypto is becoming on the global stage.
So it's not just about cracking down on crypto. It's about understanding its potential and fostering that innovation within a more structured framework.
Exactly. They're starting to recognize that crypto is here to stay. And trying to just suppress it, that'll probably just push innovation somewhere else. So this collaborative approach, it's a good sign. It shows that we're moving towards a more mature and a more stable crypto ecosystem.
Now let's talk about that Coinbase versus SEC case. The court ordered the SEC to explain why they don't have clear crypto security rules.
Oh, wow.
Seems like a win for transparency, wouldn't you say?
It's huge, yeah. It's definitely a big development. That order is forcing the SEC to finally address all those complaints the crypto industry's been making forever, about how ambiguous the regulations are.
Yeah.
And many people argue that that lack of clarity has really been holding back innovation in the U.S.
Seems like the SEC has been playing this game of regulation by enforcement, like
Yeah.
refusing to give clear guidelines, and then they just punish companies for breaking rules that don't even exist.
Oh, for sure. And it's incredibly frustrating. For companies who are just trying to navigate this whole thing, it creates this really chilling effect on investment and innovation. Companies are hesitant to build anything in the U.S. because they're scared of what the SEC is going to do.
Hmm.
So this court order, even if it's just a baby step, it could help pave the way for a more productive conversation and a clearer set of rules for crypto in the U.S.
Hopefully it sets a good precedent for more transparency
Mm-hmm.
and just predictability when it comes to crypto regulation moving forward. Now let's shift gears to Dubai for a second. The Hashkey Group just got a license for virtual asset services. What does this mean for the region?
Well, it's a massive step forward for crypto adoption in the Middle East.
Mhm.
Hashkey is a big deal. They have licenses in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan, and they're trying to get licensed in Europe too.
Wow.
So them setting up shop in Dubai gives the region's growing crypto ecosystem instant credibility.
Yeah, they have an impressive global reach and a stated commitment to blockchain adoption. Seems like Dubai is really trying to position itself as this global hub for crypto and blockchain innovation.
Definitely. And this leads us to another really exciting development in Dubai. Hello AI, a company that just got $6 million in funding to basically revolutionize how brands and creators collaborate. What caught your eye about this?
Well, I'm always interested in how people are using AI to solve real-world problems.
Mm-hmm.
And Hello AI's approach is really cool. They're using AI to streamline that process of matching brands with creators,
Uh-huh.
automate how campaigns are managed,
Yeah.
and even make sure those payments are quick and efficient.
Yeah. And the results are pretty incredible. They have a 97% campaign completion rate. That's compared to the industry average of 65%.
Wow.
And campaigns can go live in 48 hours. And creators get paid within 72 hours. That kind of efficiency is unheard of, especially in a region that's known for how fast-paced business is.
Yeah, it sounds like they figured out how to take the guesswork and the headache out of influencer marketing.
Right.
So how are they doing this with AI? What's the secret?
It's their adaptive agent AI. That's the key. It learns from all the past campaigns, analyzes all that data on creator performance, and then it can match brands with the most relevant and the most effective creators for their target audience.
So it's like a super sophisticated matchmaking service
Yeah,
for brands and influencers, all powered by AI.
exactly.
So it's not just randomly pairing brands with creators who have a lot of followers.
Right.
There's actual intelligence and strategy behind it,
Right.
which would explain why their completion rates are so impressive.
Totally. That data-driven approach is becoming more and more crucial in the digital marketing world, where efficiency and precision are key.
And it's a game changer for creators, too.
Yeah,
Getting paid within 72 hours. That's basically unheard of in the influencer world.
I know.
That financial security lets creators focus on what they do best, which is making awesome content.
Absolutely. That focus on creator empowerment is what makes Hello AI stand out.
Yeah.
They're not just building another platform, they're building a community. They're trying to create a fair and a more sustainable system for everyone.
This is such a fascinating example of how AI can be used not just to make money, but also to make things fairer and more efficient within an entire industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that this is all happening in Dubai, a region that's really embracing innovation, that speaks volumes.
It really does.
Okay, so before we get into the bigger picture and the implications of all these trends, let's pause here and pick things up after a quick break. We'll be right back with more analysis and insights in part 2.
It's amazing to see how all these stories we're talking about, the market being a little shaky, changes in regulations, AI popping up everywhere, it's all connected,
Yeah, it feels like this global power shift is happening right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Tether's going to El Salvador, Hashkey's expanding like crazy, Hello AI is changing the game for creators, and it's all happening so fast.
I know, that's what makes it so exciting, but if we zoom out a little, it brings up some really big questions.
Like what?
Well, like what does Tether moving to El Salvador tell us about the future of stablecoins? Especially with all the regulatory heat they're getting.
It's like they're playing this high-stakes game, trying to find a country that gets their vision when so many others are pushing back.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens if they lose? What does that mean for Tether and for stablecoins in general?
Okay, so on the one hand, Tether going to El Salvador could mean that more people in developing countries start using stablecoins.
Right. People who don't have access to regular banks.
But on the other hand, if this whole thing backfires, it could really hurt the entire stablecoin market.
Uh-huh. People might lose trust, and that could slow down innovation.
And we can't forget about the risks with Tether itself.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier that if USDT crashes, it could be even worse than the FTX and Terra Luna collapses.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, Tether's supposed to be tied to the US dollar, but there have always been these questions about their reserves. Like, do they really have enough to back it all up?
Right.
And are they being transparent about it? If it turns out they don't, and Tether loses its peg to the dollar, the fallout could be huge. It could shake confidence in all stablecoins.
So even though moving to El Salvador could be good for them in the short term, it doesn't make those underlying problems go away. It feels like everyone in the crypto world is watching this very closely.
Absolutely. For stablecoins to survive, they need to be stable, they need to be transparent, and people need to trust them. If they can do that, they can totally change finance. But if they fail, the consequences could be massive.
Okay, well, on a slightly more positive note, this collaboration between New York and London on crypto regulation, that seems like a step in the right direction. What do you think about this transatlantic partnership?
I think it's a really positive sign. The fact that they're sharing information, helping each other build capacity, and trying to harmonize their rules, it shows that they're moving towards a global approach to regulating crypto, which is crucial for the industry to grow in a healthy way.
It's like they're finally realizing that crypto is a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
And it needs a worldwide response.
Exactly. Trying to regulate it in isolation just won't work, and it might even stifle all the innovation that's happening.
So by working together, they can learn from each other, share what works, and come up with a unified approach that protects people and allows for growth.
Exactly. They're basically saying, hey, crypto is here to stay, so how do we make sure it benefits everyone?
All right, circling back to the Coinbase versus SEC case. The court telling the SEC to explain why they don't have clear crypto security rules, that's good, right? Even if it's not a total win for Coinbase.
It is. It's a win for transparency and accountability. People have been criticizing the SEC for being unclear and inconsistent about how they regulate crypto, which has created a lot of uncertainty for companies. So this ruling forces them to be clear about their position and explain why they think some cryptocurrencies are securities.
This case could have huge implications for the whole U.S. crypto industry. Do you think this could change how the SEC deals with crypto?
It's possible. This case has really brought the issue of clear rules to the forefront. Right. And everyone's going to be watching to see how the SEC responds. If they can't give a good reason for what they've been doing, other crypto companies might start challenging them too and pushing for clearer guidelines.
So this could be the push we need to get a more transparent and predictable regulatory environment for crypto in the U.S.
I hope so. That lack of clarity has been holding back investment and innovation. Clear rules would help businesses, protect consumers, and encourage responsible growth.
Okay, shifting back to Dubai. Hashkey getting that license for virtual asset services. That's a clear sign that they're serious about becoming a global crypto hub.
It is. It's a huge validation of Dubai's crypto goals. Hashkey's a reputable company with a global presence, and them choosing Dubai shows that they have confidence in the region's rules and its potential for crypto innovation.
And because they have such a global reach and expertise, they could attract a lot of investment and talent to Dubai.
Absolutely. It's like a snowball effect. More companies and investors come to Dubai, the ecosystem grows even bigger, and that attracts even more talent and resources. It could really push Dubai to the forefront of the global crypto scene.
And with Hello AI also being in Dubai, it's clear they're not just focused on crypto. They're interested in all kinds of new tech, especially AI.
Right.
What do you think this broader focus on technology means?
I think it shows that Dubai really gets it. They understand how transformative technology can be. And by supporting innovation in AI, blockchain, fintech, all of that, they're positioning themselves as a leader in the digital economy. And that's going to have a big impact, not just on the region, but globally.
It's a really exciting time to see all of this happening. Dubai has that mix of regulatory clarity, investment capital, and that entrepreneurial energy. It's like the perfect recipe for innovation. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out and what kind of impact they have on the tech world as a whole.
Definitely. And while Dubai is definitely a hot spot right now,
Yeah.
we have to remember that innovation can happen anywhere. It's a global phenomenon. There are amazing things happening all over the world.
It's a good reminder that we're all part of this tech revolution,
Yeah.
and we each have a role to play in how it unfolds. Now, let's take a closer look at what Hello AI is doing and why they're making such a splash in the world of influencer marketing. Okay, so we're back, and let's dive deeper into this Hello AI thing. What makes their approach to influencer marketing so different?
Well, it's all about how they're using AI to connect brands with the right creators. Then they optimize the whole campaign and they make sure the creators get paid quickly.
Right, and that's something this industry has really been struggling with.
Yeah, totally. Traditional influencer marketing can be so unpredictable. But
Mhm.
Hello AI is taking the guesswork out of it with their data-driven approach.
Okay, so walk me through it. How does their adaptive agent AI actually work? What's the secret sauce?
It all comes down to data. Their AI analyzes mountains of data from past campaigns. We're talking creator performance, audience engagement, brand goals, all of that. By finding patterns and connections that humans might miss, the AI can figure out which creators are the best match for specific brands and their audiences.
So it's not just about connecting brands with creators who have huge followings. It's more nuanced than that.
Yeah, exactly. It's about understanding the details of the audience, their demographics, interests, what makes them tick. Hello AI uses that data to find the creators who are going to resonate with the right people.
So it's like a super-powered matchmaker for the influencer marketing world.
Exactly.
No more gut feelings, just cold, hard data.
And it goes beyond just matching. Hello AI's platform also helps manage the whole campaign, automating a lot of the tasks that used to bog things down, like negotiating contracts, approving content, and tracking how well the campaign's doing.
Okay, so it's streamlined and more transparent.
Yeah, for sure.
And that makes things easier for both the brands and the creators.
Exactly. It's a win-win. And don't forget about those fast payments. Creators getting paid within 72 hours is practically unheard of in this industry,
Especially smaller creators.
especially smaller creators. Yeah. They're often stuck waiting forever to get paid, but this builds trust and loyalty, and it lets creators focus on what they're good at without having to worry about money.
It's definitely a different approach than the traditional influencer marketing model,
Yeah.
which, let's be honest, can be a little bit exploitative.
It can, yeah. But Hello AI is creating a system that's fairer and more sustainable for creators.
And that focus on empowering creators really makes them stand out.
It does. They're not just another platform, they're a community. They want to make things better for everyone involved.
It's a cool example of how AI can be used to do good and not just make a profit.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're based in Dubai, a place that's really embracing innovation, that's a big deal, right?
It is. Dubai's focus on technology is creating a space where companies like Hello AI can really flourish. They have access to talented people, funding, and a supportive government.
It seems like they're leading a global shift, with Dubai becoming a center for AI and influencer marketing. What do you think about the implications of all of this?
It's exciting. It could change the whole landscape of digital marketing.
Yeah.
As AI gets more advanced, we're going to see it used in more and more creative ways, not just in influencer marketing, but everywhere.
So this brings up a really interesting question for our listeners. With AI changing so many industries and Dubai becoming this global tech hub, what opportunities does this create for you? How can you use these trends to get ahead in your career, your business, or even your investments?
It's a time of huge change, but also huge opportunity. If you stay informed, embrace new ideas, and really think about how these trends will shape the future, you can be a part of this exciting new world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into crypto trends and AI innovation, we want to encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, and don't be afraid to challenge the way things are done. The future is being shaped right now, and we're all a part of it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We can't wait to explore more fascinating topics with you in the future.